The anger. In the last couple of days, we've seen Tesla cars and dealerships being vandalized by extreme leftists. And then the right has been responding in an amazing way. But very sadly, we've seen a journalist, a MAGA journalist, being murdered. Also, continuous cyber attacks on X, and Congresswoman Crockett inciting violence against Republicans. This is all happening whilst fraud is being revealed in unbelievable videos. The left is panicking. What we're seeing right now in the Democrat Party is a final effort to just lash out aggressively before it gets completely exposed, before arrests begin, and it all falls apart. The same people that brought us "words are literally violence" are now fighting the constitutional crisis that is government efficiency by firebombing Tesla dealerships around the country. It's also the hypocrisy of the environmentalism, right? This is the side that claims they care about the climate, and they're throwing firebombs into electric vehicles, countless electric vehicles. The destruction that they're causing. And what is it for? Because this actually only harms civilians. This only negatively impacts their fellow citizens. And this is particularly interesting because of how it's being funded and then what's being exposed of those groups right now by Doge and by Elon Musk. Shouting "we need clean air" while vandalizing electric vehicles and firebombing them. Yeah, here's one where the tires of 11 different Teslas in Texas were taken.
Fuck you! Dude! Fuck you!
Hey, dude! Dude! Hey, you! Don't buy a chop!
There's something so lame about that. Oh my god. This person's saying, "I already know people who never considered buying a Tesla till they saw what's happening. Now they've placed an order just to show support." This might explain why in the last months there was a trend of liberals putting those stickers on their car that said, "I bought this before Elon went crazy." That way the liberals vandalizing the Teslas know which ones to skip, right? So there have been all sorts of protests outside of the Tesla dealerships as well. And paid protests are a common tactic that many people are aware that the Democrats make use of. But just in case you weren't convinced that that's happening, here's a video outside of a Tesla dealership where someone just straight up asked the guy, "Have you been paid to be here?" And see what he had to say.
Yeah, I get paid to be out here.
You get paid to be out here?
Yeah.
Amazing. So some pack.
You really are getting paid for this?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, definitely. 100% I'm getting paid for this.
I mean, he's not getting paid to keep it a secret, so these groups need to start paying them a little bit more to not speak. So the right is fighting back in a much more polite and civilized way by buying Teslas.
Join me. We'll push back. Can we all buy a Tesla? Let's all go buy a Tesla.
Trump announced that he's buying one today.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, Mr. President, you talked about some of the violence that's been going on around the country at dealerships. Some say they should be labeled domestic terrorists because...
I'll do it. I'm going to stop them. We catch anybody doing it because they're harming a great American company. You know, I've stuck up for the NFL. I've stuck up for a lot of American companies and other companies, but American companies. I did a very big favor for the NFL. I do favors for all. When you heard an American company, especially a company like this, supplies so many jobs that others are unable to do, when you do that, those people are going to go through a big problem when we catch them. And we have you get a lot of cameras up. We already know who some of them are. We're going to catch them. And they're bad guys. They're the same guys that screw around with our schools and universities. The same garbage. And no, we're going to catch them.
Sean Hannity announced he's buying one.
Picked out the one I want. It's called the what is it called? The S-Plaid. And do you realize this thing, an electric vehicle, has 1,006 horsepower and goes from 0 to 62 in 2.0 seconds.
Lily Williams.
Hi, I'm inside of my brand new Tesla I bought to support Elon Musk and Doge. radical leftists are Marxist communists. They want to shut you down if you do not comply to them, if you're a threat to their corruption, their money, their special interest. I could not access to my X this morning, the only free speech app in the whole world right now. So I'm going to go buy some more Tesla stocks and support them whenever I can. We must win as the free people.
Look past the smoke and mirrors and the accusations and the propaganda and just look at the difference between the way the two sides are behaving. Look at their behaviors and decide for yourself which side is acting not insane. This footage then surfaced of this woman who's part of a Tesla takedown group.
It essentially is a map where anybody in the world can put an action up for targeting Tesla. And so I've been involved in that campaign, and in particular, planning actions in the Seattle area targeting Tesla.
In Tesla Takedown, there's a spirit out there, which had already, as we saw with Luigi Mangione, there's a spirit which is very anti-corporate.
So X was also under cyber attacks yesterday, which caused it to be shut down for a lot of the day.
We're not sure exactly what happened, but there was a massive cyber attack to try to bring down the X system with IP addresses originating in the Ukraine area.
I'm not sure if you're able to change an IP address, like make it appear that it's coming from Ukraine, even if it's not, like a VPN. Darkstorm team came out and took credit for the attacks later on. But again, it's easy for a group to just take credit for it, and we don't really have any way of knowing for sure right now. But the Darkstorm team have threatened that they're going to do more attacks. And whilst all of this was going on, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett shared this post on social media showing herself and AOC beating up Republicans who were lying on the floor. But take note of that, because I have a video that literally shows that she has been aided by the fraud that these organizations have been engaging in within the government. So no wonder she's lashing out. She's about to get into serious trouble. The other thing that happened was that Jamie White, who was a journalist for InfoWars, Alex Jones's InfoWars, he left work late at night, and 10 minutes later, he was murdered outside his home. And the crazy thing is that night, shortly before he was killed, he had actually retweeted, and it's his last post on X, asking about why are liberals so violent. Just a terrible, terrible coincidence. Coffee Time News posted saying, I saw a Cybertruck in my city for the first time yesterday. It made my blood boil. I had to resist the urge to follow the guy into the mall parking lot and kick the shit out of him. That's how I feel about supporting Elon. He says, I'm not kidding. It crossed my mind. Then I thought about just putting a rock through the windshield while it was charging at Limerick Mall. Maybe next time. I don't even know what to say. I really don't. This is the problem with the absolute rubbish that the media feeds people and that the Democrats feed people. So someone replied to those comments saying, why are liberals so violent? People just want a safe, clean car. Leave them alone. Coffee Time News should be watched closely by the police. So then Elon Musk said, yeah, why are liberals so violent? Legacy media propaganda is a major part of the problem. And Jamie White, he reposted that tweet that night. We don't know the details of it yet. I don't know if that's a coincidence, but it's just tragic. So now at the moment, ActBlue is under the spotlight. It's getting a lot of heat because there's an investigation that has found 5 ActBlue funded groups responsible for Tesla protests. And ActBlue funders include George Soros, Reid Hoffman, Herbert Sandler, Patricia Bowman, and Lee Hunt Hendricks. But this is crazy because 2 years ago, actually, James O'Keefe exposed ActBlue. Have a look at this video. It's just crazy.
CDC data shows that some senior citizens across the U.S. have been donating thousands of times per year. Some of these individuals' names and addresses are attached to over $200,000 in contributions. We went and knocked on a few of their doors to corroborate the data that we received. We're wondering if these donors are victims of what appears to be a money laundering scheme. Cindy No of Annapolis, Maryland, who in the year 2022 allegedly contributed over 1,000 times to ActBlue, totaling $18,849.77. That means Cindy would have had to donate 3 times a day, every day for the whole year. My name's James O'Keefe, and we're doing a story on the number of people that have donated. You did donate to ActBlue, right?
Once in a while.
What about $18,850?
No, I don't think so.
You know people are using your address?
I don't think so.
So what they're doing is someone makes a donation and they then use their name and their details to make fraudulent transactions multiple times a day. Small donations to the campaign. And in light of all this, Sheldon Daniels, who's a Texas Congress candidate, did the same thing. This is crazy.
So I'm about to go to Randy Best's house, introduce myself, and just ask them straight up if they contributed to Jasmine's campaign, if they contributed that amount, and why they like her so much, because I might be able to learn a little bit of something while I'm up here. Is there a Randy Best who lives here?
That's my husband.
Yeah. I just want to verify, are you guys aware that you were charged over $16,000 last year? Yeah. I have a list of charges. I'm just here to verify that you guys know about this. $16,240 in political contributions to a candidate named Jasmine Crockett. Do you remember that at all? Does your husband remember that at all?
I don't know. He's on the road on his way to Colorado.
Okay, it says here that he's not employed. Is he employed now?
No, we're retired.
So like I said earlier, no wonder Crockett has been so outspoken against Doge, Trump, the whole thing. It's starting to become very clear that the people who are shouting the loudest are the ones who are committing the most fraud that they are trying to keep hidden. In the meantime, Elon Musk has said that Doge is going to achieve $1 trillion in savings as long as they're not stopped for some reason. And Marco Rubio has announced that he'll be cutting 83% of the US aid programs, which will leave around 1,000 programs after. All of this is on the verge of collapse right now, and I think it is going to get worse. Their violence, their desperation, before it's just completely exposed. Hopefully all of the people doing the good work will be safe, but I'll keep you guys updated. As always, I'm very much looking forward to hearing your thoughts and your opinions, and I'll see you guys next time.